I strike quickly, being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A dog of the house of Montague moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou art moved, thou runnest away.
A dog of that house shall move me to stand. I will take the wall of any man or maid of Montague.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
True, and therefore a woman, being the weaker vessels, are ever thrust to the wall. Therefore I will push Montague's men from the wall, and thrust his maids to the wall.
The quarrels between our masters and us their men.
'Tis all one. I will show myself a tyrant. When I have fought with the men, I will be cruel with the maids and cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
Aye, the heads of the maids, or their maiden heads. Take it in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in sense that feel it. Draw thy tool. Here comes one of the house of the Montagues.
Fear me not.
No, marry, I fear thee.
Let us take the law of our sides. Let them begin.
I will frown as I pass by and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they do. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do bite my thumb, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side if I say aye?
No.
No, sir. I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I bite my thumb, sir.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir, draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy swashing blow.
Part, fools, put up your swords, you know not what you do.
What art thou drawn amongst these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, and look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage it to part these men with me.
What, drawn and talk of peace? I hate the word, as I hate hell. All Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward!
What noise is this?
Hold me not. Let me go.
Thou shalt not stir a foot to seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighborhood stained steel, will they not hear? What ho, you men, you beast, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage, with purple fountains issuing from your veins, on pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground, and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by thee, O Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Verona's ancient citizens, cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, to weld old partisans and hands as old, cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come you this afternoon. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
Set this ancient quarrel new approach. Speak, nephew. Were you by when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversary, and yours close fighting ere I did approach. I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt, with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ears, he swung about his head and cut the winds. While we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more, and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where's Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun, a troubled mind drave me to walk abroad, where, underneath the grove of sycamores, so early walking did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ware of me, and stole into the covert of wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it, nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes, so please you step aside. I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
Ah, I would thou wert so happy by thy stay to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
The day so young?
But new struck 9.
Me sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Of love.
Of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love, so gentle in his view, could be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine? Oh, me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I have heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate, oh anything of nothing first create. Oh heavy lightness, misshapen vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms. This love feel I, but feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz, I rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my breast, which thou wilt propagate to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Love is a smoke raised with the fume of sighs, a sea nursed with lovers' tears. What is it else? A madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my coz.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo. He's some other where.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that you love?
What, shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
She'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Diane's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed, from love's weak childish bow she lives unarmed. She is rich in beauty, only poor, and when she dies with beauty dies her store.
Then she hath sworn that she will live chaste.
She hath, and in that sparing make huge waste. For beauty starved with her severity cuts beauty off from all prosperity. She's too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair.
Be ruled by me, forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, examine other beauties.
'Tis the way to call hers exquisite, and question more. These happy masks that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black, put us in mind that they hide the fair. He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
But Montague is bound as well as I, and penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for those as old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at odds so long. But now, my lady, what say you to my suit?
My child is yet a stranger in this world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in her their pride, ere we may think her right to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. The earth hath swallowed up all my hopes but she. She is the hopeful lady of my heart. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I have invited many a guest, such as I love, and you, among the store, one more most welcome, make my number more. At my poor house look to behold this night, earth-treading stars to make dark heaven light. Come, go with me. Go, sirrah, trudge about fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are here writ, and to them say, my house most welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out whose names are written here? I am sent to find those persons whose names are here writ, and can never find what names the writing person hath here writ. I must to the learned, in good time.
Tut, man, one fire burns out, another's burning. Turn giddy, and behold by backward turning. Take thou some new infection to thine eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plaintive leaf is excellent for that. God and good fellow.
God and good den. I pray, sir, can you read?
Aye, my own misfortune and my misery.
Perhaps you have learned it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
Ye say honestly, rest you merry.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughters, the lady widow Vitrio, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline, Livia, the Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio, and the lively Helena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come? Whither?
To supper, to our house.
Whose house?
To my master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you not be from the house of Montague, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest you merry.
At this same ancient feet of Capulet sups the fair Rosalind, whom thou so lovest, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither, and with unattained eye, compare her face to some that I will show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
One fairer than my love? The all-seeing sun never saw her match since the world first begun.
Tut, you saw her fair, none else being by, but in that crystal scales let there be weighed your lady's love against some other maid, that I will show you shining at this feast, and she shall scant show well that now shows best.
I'll go along, no sight to be shown, but to rejoice in the splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where's my daughter? Call her forth to me.
What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What Juliet?
How now, who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back. I have remembered me. Thou hearest our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
How long is it now till Lammas-tide?
In a fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd of all the days of the year. Come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14, that she shall marry. I remember it well, 'tis since the earthquake now, 11 years, and she was weaned. I never shall forget it. Of all the days on that year, upon that day, for I then laid wormwood to my dug, sitting in the sun under the dove-house wall. My lord and you were then at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain, but as I said, when she did taste the wormwood on the nipple of my dug, and felt it bitter, pretty fool, to see her tetchy and fall out with the dug, she quoth the dove-house, and since that time it is 11 years. For then she could stand by the rood. She could stand not alone, but she could have run and waddled all about. Even the day before, she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, was a merry man, God be with him, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, dost thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my halidame, the pretty wretch left crying, and said I, to see now how a jest shall come about. I warrant, and I shall live 1,000 years. I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he, and pretty fool. Incentive, said I.
Enough of this, I pray thee, hold thy peace.
Yes, madam, but I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying and say I. Yea, quoth my husband, fallest upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And it stinted, and said I.
And stint thou too, I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace, I have done. Thou wast the prettiest babe that I ever nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Marry, it is that very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an honor that I dream not of.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are already made mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
A man, young lady, such a man as all the world. Why, he's made of wax.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower. What say you? Can you love this gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read o'er the volume of the young Paris's face, and find delight writ there with beauty's pen. That book in many eyes doth share the glory, that in gold clasped locks in the golden story. So shall you share all that he doth possesses, by having him, making yourself no less. Speak briefly. What say you of Paris's love? Can you like of Paris's love?
I'll look to like if looking liking move.
Go, girls, seek happy nights to happy days.
What, shall this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
Let them measure us by what they will, or measure them a measure and be gone.
Give me a torch, I am not for this ambling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above common bound.
I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it, should you burden love, too great oppression for such a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and if you beat love down, give me a case to put my visage in. Here are the beetle's brows that shall blush for me.
Come, knock, and enter.
A torch for me. Let wanton lights of heart tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. The game was never so fair, and I am done.
Tut, done's the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire. Come, we burn daylight, ho.
That's not so.
I mean, sir, in delay, we waste our lights in vain like lamps by day.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamed a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep, where they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Math had been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in a shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little pantomimes athwart men's noses while they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spider webs, the cover of wings of grasshoppers, the traces of the smallest spider web. The collars on the moonshine's watery beams, her whips cricket bones, the lash of flim. Her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat, not so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or old grub. Time out, O mine, the fairies' coachmakers, and in this state she gallops night by night, through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. Sometimes she gallops over a quarter's nose, and then he dreams of smelling out a suit. And sometimes she comes with a pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose, as lies asleep, and then dreams of another benefice. Sometimes she's driven over a soldier's neck, and then he dreams of cutting foreign throats. Oh, breeches, ambuscades, Spanish braids, oh, health 5 fathom deeps. That is the very mads, the plights the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elf locks of foul sluttish hairs. This is the hag when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear. This is she, this is Queen Mab, this is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, thou talks of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of the idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin as substance as the air, and more inconsistent than the wind who woos, even now the frozen bosom of the north.
This wind you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done, and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgieves some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall begin his fearful date with this night revels, and expire the term of a despised life closed in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the steer to my course stirreth my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Reich, drum! Welcome, gentlemen, ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns will have a bout with you. My mistresses, which of you all will now deny to dance? She that makes dainty, she, I swear, hath horns. Welcome, gentlemen, come, musicians, play! A hall, give room, and foot it, girls. Nay, sit, good Lady Capulet, for you and I are past our dancing days. How long is it now since last yourself and I were in a mask?
By Our Lady, 30 years.
What? 'Tis not so much, some 5 and 20 years, and then we masked.
More, 'tis more.
Lady doth enrich the hand of yonder knight. She doth teach the torches to burn bright. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady over her fellow shows. Measure done, I'll watch her place a stand, and touching hers, make bless my rude hand. If my heart ever loved till now, forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This by his voice should be Montague. Fetch my rapier, boy.
Why? How now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague that has come hither here in spite, to scorn at the solemnity of this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
Ugh, 'tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle coz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman. And, to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. Therefore be patient, take no note of him.
It fits when such villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What, goodman boy, I say? He shall. Go to, am I the master here, or you?
My uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to. You are a saucy boy. You are a princox. Go. Be quiet, or I'll make you quiet.
I will withdraw this intrusion now. Shall seeming sweets shall soon convert to bitter gall.
I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine. Gentle fine is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palms to palms, holy palms kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
Hi, pilgrim, lips that they sings in prayer.
Why then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though, grant for prayer's sake.
And then move not, while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by yours, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips a sin that they have done.
Then from thy lips, of trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, why her mother is the lady of the house, and a good one, a wise and virtuous one.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Away, be gone, the sport is at the best.
Ay, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Hey, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Why then, I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. Come on then, let's to bed. Ay, sirrah, by my fay, it waxes late. All to my rest.
What is yon gentleman?
Mary, his name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate? O prodigious birth! If of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Come, anon, let's go. The strangers are all but gone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Romeo! My cousin Romeo!
He is wise, and on my lie hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way, and leaped this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humorous, madman, passion, lover, appear in thou likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme, and I am satisfied. Cry but a me, pronounce but love and dove, and heareth not, he stirreth not, he moveth not. The ape is dead, and I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalie's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot and straight leg, quivering thigh, and by Demoness, that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou will anger him.
Thou cannot anger him. My invocation is fair and honest, and in mistress' name I conjure only but to raise him up.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
Now will he sit under the medlar tree, and wish his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone? Romeo, that she were, oh, that she were in open at cataract, thou were popper and pear. Romeo, good night. I'll to my truckle bed. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here that means not to be found.
He jested scars and never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Oh, rise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is pale and sick with grief that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. This is my lady, it's my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. Be bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. Who of the fairest stars in all of heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres till they return? See how she leans her hand upon her cheek? Oh, that I were a glove on that hand, that I may touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head as the winged messenger from heaven.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or if thou wilt not, be but sworn, my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
It's but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montague. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would still smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo, called, retain that dear perfection which he would owe without that title. And for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
Call me but love, and I'll be newly baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou thus bespringed in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of that tongue's utterance, and yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo, and a Montague?
Neither, fair saint, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death considering who thou art. If any of my kinsmen were to find thee here.
With love's light wings did I overperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what can love do that dare love not attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no let to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
I have nice cloak to hide me from their sight.
By whose direction foundest thou out this place?
By love, who first did prompt me to inquire. I am no pilot, yet wert thou as far as the vast shores of the furthest sea? I would venture for such merchandise.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face. Else would a maiden blush bepaint my cheek. For that which thou hast heard me speak tonight, dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word for it. Yet, if thou swearest, thou may prove false. They say at lovers' perjuries Jove laughs. O gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, then I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo, but else not for the world.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear that tips with silver all these free trees.
Swear not by the moon, the inconsistent moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt swear, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry. And I'll believe thee.
If my heart still love.
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which shall cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Oh, sweet good night. Good night, good night. As sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy faithful love thou for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For a purpose, love.
But to be frank, and give it thee again. I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night! I am afeard, being a knight, that this is all a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo. Good night indeed, and if that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, when and where thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. I come, anon. But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee. I come. To cease thy suit and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow will I send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse toward thy light.
Hiss, Romeo. Hiss. Over a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo.
My dear?
At what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
At the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thee remember it.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no further than a wanton's bird, who lets it hop a little from her hand like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving, jealous of his liberty.
Would I were thy bird.
Sweet, so would I. Yet I should kill thee with much cherishing. Good night. Good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep in thine eyes and peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep to peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell. Tomorrow, father.
Benedicte! What early tongue so sweet saluteth me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Thy earliness doth assure me thou art uproused by some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father? No, I have forgot that name, and that name's woe.
That's good, my son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee, ere thou ask me it again. I have been feasting with mine enemy. My dear heart's love is set on the fair daughter of the rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so is hers set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine, by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed and made exchange of vow, I'll tell thee as we pass. But this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy St. Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline, whom thou didst love so dear, so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes. Lo, upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. And art thou changed? Pronounce the sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chides me off for loving, Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And bades me bury love.
Not in a grave, to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide not. She whom I love now doth grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well. Thy love did read by rote and could not spell. But come, young waverer, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this allegiance may so happy prove, to turn your household's record to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slowly they stumble that run fast.
Romeo B. Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father, as I spoke with his man.
Ah, that same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosaline torments him so, that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kinsman of old Capulet, had sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Alas, poor Romeo, he's already dead, shot through the ear with a love song, that very pin of his heart cleft with the blind boy's butt shaft. And he's a man to encounter Tybalt.
Why? What is Tybalt?
More than a prince of cats, I can tell you. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion, the very butcher of a silk button, a duelist, a gentleman of the very first house, of the first and second cause, the immortal passado, the punto reverso, the ha!
Here comes Romeo! Here comes Romeo!
Without his roe, like a dried herring, flesh, how art thou fish-filleted? You gave us counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeits did I give you?
The ship, sir, the slip, can you not conceive?
Pardon, good Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That is such as much to say. Such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in hands.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
Most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then, is my pump well flowered?
I will bite thee by the ear for that jest.
Nay, good goose, bite not.
Thy wit is very bitter sweetening, it is a most sharp sauce.
And is not well served into a sweet goose?
Why is it not this better than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art what thou art, by art as well as by nature, for thy drivelling love is a great natural that runs loiling up and down to hide his bubble in a hole.
Stop there! Stop there!
Thou desirest me to stop in a tail against the hair?
Thou wouldst else have made thy tail large.
Here's goodly gear.
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
Good ye good den, fair gentlewoman.
Is it good den?
'Tis no less. I tell you from all we hands, of all dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you, what a man are you?
That God hath made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said. Gentlemen, can any of you tell where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell you, but young Romeo will be older when you found him than when he was when you sought him out. I am the youngest out of that name, for fault or worse.
If you be he, sir, I do desire some confidence with you.
You will indict him to some supper.
An old hair whore is very good meat to land, but a hair that is whore is too much for a score. When it whores, it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your father's? Well, to dinner thither.
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady, farewell. Lady, lady, lady.
Mary, farewell. I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his roguery?
And nurse that loves him hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand in a month.
Now, for God, I am so vexed that every part about me quivers. Oh, scurvy knave. Pray you, sir, a word. And if, as I said, my young lady bade me inquire you out. But first, let me tell ye this. If ye should lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, it were to be a gross kind of behavior, as they say.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto thee.
Oh, good heart, and I faith I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
Bid her devise some means to come to shrift this afternoon. There she shall at Friar Lawrence's cell be shriven and married. Here is for thy pains.
Oh, no, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir. Why, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring the cords made like tackled stair, which to the high-top galleons of my joy must be my convey in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Now is the sun upon the hindmost hill, but this day's journey from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball, but old folks many faint as they were dead. Unwieldy, slow, and heavy and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Oh, good sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. Oh, what a jaunt have I had.
Nay, come, I pray thee. Good nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Does not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to tell me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Tell me, and I shall stay the circumstance.
Well, you made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. Go. Have you dined at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. Oh, beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Faith, I'm sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse. Tell me, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a kind, and a courteous, and a... Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady, dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil, come. What says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Oh, now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. Hie you to church, I must another way, to fetch a ladder by which your love must climb as soon as it's dark. Oh, I am the drudge and toil in your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Oh, go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come what sorrow can, they cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Here comes the lady, oh so light of foot, will never wear out the everlasting flint.
Good evening to my ghostly friar.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else his thanks too much.
Come with me, and we shall make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in
I pray
one.
thee, good Mercutio, let's retire.